Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Watch Me Work on my channel. Yes, it is that time already. My daughter has come in wanting a shape change and some new colors, so let's get started. And as always, I like to start off with pushing the proximal nail fold back. And I am doing this quite gently because I don't want to cause any damage to the nail plate or the proximal nail fold itself. With my coarse carbide bit, I have my E-file on about, I think I have it on about 25,000 RPM, and I'm going to remove the color and also take down the nail and do as much debulking as I can because I'm actually going to switch products on her. I'm going to use the Speed Sculpt by Magic Gel, so I want to take all the diamond fiber off. Actually, with this bit, I'm not taking all the diamond fiber off. I'm taking as much of the product off as possible without damaging the natural nail. So when I'm changing the shape and going from a pointed almond to a square, I kind of have the E-file hand piece at a bit of an angle pointing to the right. I don't know what degrees that is, maybe like a 5 degree to the right and straight up and down. And I'm also holding with my thumb the natural nail because I want to get a good anchor with her nail and her finger so the E-file doesn't slip and we don't cause any unnecessary damage. Actually, I don't want to cause any damage because damage is not necessary. After using this carbide bit, I went in with my medium grit sanding band at about 12 to 13,000 RPM, and I got the rest of the product off. And then when I was getting closer to the natural nail, I put the E-file down to about 5,000 RPM because you don't want to take any layers of nail off. And you don't see this part because I had filmed it out of frame, so I just didn't bother putting it in here. And the reason I am taking the diamond fiber off, or as much of it off as possible, is because it is a very rigid hard builder gel, and Speed Sculpt has more flexibility to it, so I don't want there to be any lifting or cracking underneath because diamond fiber is so rigid. This is like a natural nail overlay that I am doing, and I really want to test out the Speed Sculpt to see how it works on its own, and it's also recommended not to put over top of diamond fiber. Now I'm going in with my cuticle skiver and doing the cuticle prep, getting that sticky cuticle off the nail plate so there won't be any lifting. And with my Ugly Duckling, file. It's 150 grit. I am going in to take off any surface shine and any leftover product. Because I am so close to the natural nail, I have more control using a hand file, so I know I'm not going to damage the natural nail. I also refine the shape of the free edge, because when you're using Speed Sculpt or doing a natural nail overlay, I'm really working towards doing that perfect application where I don't need to finish file. I'm not there yet, but if I can do most of the prep before I put the product on, that helps me to reach that goal, and it also helps you not to use more product than you need to. So after cleansing the nails from dust, I go in with my primer, let that air dry, and now I'm going in with the silicone thin base and I'm scrubbing it into the natural nail, very thin coat, and I will cure for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to use the clear Speed Sculpt. Now I have moved all my Speed Sculpt into an empty container because I prefer to work out of a pot. And thankfully, Magic Gel has their Speed Sculpt in 60 ml jars now. So what I'm doing with the Speed Sculpt here is I'm putting a very thin layer on all 10 nails and curing for 60 seconds. And when I'm applying this thin layer, I am pressing quite hard with my brush, and I'm trying to get into all the scratches, all the dips and valleys, so there's no air pockets, and then wrapping that brush around the free edge so there is no pocket lifting or lifting around the natural free edge. And it just helps. I have found it has helped a manicure last longer. There's not that lifting or separation as much or at all. Now, having said that, it also depends on the aftercare. So if your client goes home and has their hands immersed in water all the time, then that is going to not help. The natural nail is going to pull away from the product because the water is expanding the natural nail, and then when it dries out, it dehydrates. So that movement causes lifting and separation from the product. So this step of doing a thin layer, a thin slip layer, if you will, and curing it really helps to alleviate those problems after the client goes home. So after I've cured that first layer for 60 seconds, I will go in and do another slip layer and then go back to the first finger and build my apex. And I will do one nail at a time because Speed Sculpt is very thin, so you have to work quite fast. And you need very little, just to put the gel at the apex area, gently move it towards the free edge, and then I use my liner brush to help it flow to where it needs to go. This is the part that I want to master so I don't have to finish file, is that more perfect application. So even though I've been in this industry for almost 12 years, well, I'm working on my 12th year, I never want to stop learning. I never want to stop trying new techniques that make my life as a nail tech easier. So who better to practice on than my own daughter? She is a wonderful guinea pig. And because my application is not perfect yet, I do go in with my hand file and finish file. So usually I go in with my pink diamond smooth top, whatever it's called, safety bit, and do my shaping with that. But because of the way I put the gel on very carefully and very slowly, I only need to finish file now. I don't need to use that bit. So that's actually, even though I'm still filing, that is still saving me time because I'm totally eliminating that step with the safety bit. And the last step before color application is buffing with my sponge buffer, just to smooth out the deeper scratches, making sure those dips and valleys are nice and smooth. This is a step that I cannot miss. If I skip it, I definitely notice it when I'm putting on the color. After removing all the dust, I'm going in with BeMi Beauty Box's 019 Creamy Gel Polish. This is a nice buttercup yellow. I am putting it on very thin, going in with my detailer brush around the cuticles and sidewalls to get as close as I can, but leaving a small gap so I don't touch the skin, and curing for 60 seconds. So at this point, I'm not too worried about the fact that this yellow does shadow a little bit. The second layer is going to fix all of that, and yellows are difficult anyway. It doesn't matter what brand. Yellows are very tricky. So the fact that I am putting kind of a glittery top coat over top, even with the second layer, I'm not going to worry too much about the streaking or shadowing. Now on the remaining nails, I'm going in with Off the Clock from enVogue, and it is a really pretty pastel mint color, and doing the same thing, very thin layer, curing for 60 seconds, and then going back in with my second layer. And I think pastel colors in general are tricky colors to work with with the streaking and shadowing aspect of it. I don't think it really matters what brand. If you put too much pigment in a color, then you're going to have a hard time curing it. So I mean, I'm no scientist, but I have just found that pastel colors are probably the most difficult colors to work with. So instead of letting that beat me and not using pastel colors, I try to find ways to make it work. Lighter touch with my brush, doing thinner layers, buffing a layer before you put that second layer on, and using a shimmer top coat. All of that is just tips and tricks that you can use if you struggle with pastel colors as well. So after a full cure of the first layer, I'm going in with the second layer and putting it into the lamp for another 60 seconds. And after a full cure, I'm going to go in with Afterglow from enVogue. It's from their Holla Glaze collection. I did a video on this last week, so go check that video out. And I'm trying a new tip or trick using my LED pen light and flash curing the top coat so it doesn't pull towards the free edge. And I found that it worked. It actually worked. So especially on square nails, I find that I get a lot of pooling at the free edge. Even if I apply the top coat very thin, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the hand placement, you know, when you let go of the client's hand and it's kind of leaning downwards and then they put it down into the lamp. I mean, all of that is gravity and pulls that top coat towards the free edge. You don't see it because when you apply the top coat, it's nice and thin all the way around, and then when it goes into the lamp, it has already pooled from your hand to the lamp. Does that make sense? So flash curing it with a little pen light really helped to rectify that problem. Then after I apply the top coat on all 5 nails, the hand will go into the lamp for a full 60 seconds. And here's the finished look. Something simple, something easy, a shape change, some more pastel colors, perfect for spring. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments section below. And I think that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.